You start something new, and for a few days, you feel unstoppable. Then suddenly, you lose focus. You feel tired. You get distracted. One day, you just stop. No big reason, no big failure. You just quit, and later, you sit quietly and think, why do I always give up? If this sounds like you, don't skip this video because today, I will show you how to become someone better, who never gives up, even when it's hard, even when you feel like quitting. Let's be honest, giving up feels easy, comfortable, safe, no pressure, no stress. But after some time, it turns into regret. You see others moving ahead and you feel stuck. You tell yourself, I could have done it, I had the potential. That pain is worse than failure. So here is a story. There was a cricketer. He is now one of the best cricketers in the world now. But there was a time when he was playing a match right after his father passed away. He was in pain, emotionally broken, but he still played. He didn't quit. That's not talent, that's mindset. You have to guess that player. Let me explain this simply that why do you feel like giving up? Your brain has one job, keep you comfortable. So when something feels hard, your brain says stop. That's why you feel sleepy, you feel bored, you get distracted. It's not laziness, it's protection. When you do hard work, your brain uses energy and it doesn't like that. So it pushes you to quit. Let's take another example. A person, he was building companies. He failed again and again. Rockets exploded, money almost finished. People laughed at him, but he kept going. But he didn't listen to comfort. He listened to purpose. You have to guess that passion. Next time you feel like quitting, don't think big. Just say, I'll do it for 5 minutes. That's it. Because starting breaks resistance. Because starting is where 80% of your work is done. Now you understand the problem. Let's build a system. Morning, afternoon, and night. Morning, your morning should be powerful. It decides your mindset. What most students do. They wake up, pick their phones, scroll, they compare themselves. They feel like they are lacking, and their whole day is ruined. Instead, you should fresh your brain. Don't fill it with noises. Sit quietly, take deep breaths. Start slow. Do meditation, gratitude. Don't say like I will study for 8 hours today. Just say I will study 1 page, 1 month. Small wins build confidence, and confidence builds consistency. And to do that, you have to change your identity first. So say this every morning: I'm someone who doesn't quit. I do what I say. Repeat it. Your brain believes repetition. Now let's another example. A person who was not born great, but he built discipline. He built his habits. That habit made him great. He trains every day, even he doesn't feel like it. That's why he wins. And he's the person who has missed most penalties, and he is the person who has scored most penalties. You can guess the footballer. Next, morning gives you strong start, and you should not waste this. But here comes the real test: when motivation disappears. This is where most people quit, not at the start, but in the middle. Start is excitement and is satisfaction, but middle is confusion. That's where quitting happens. Let's take another example that's quite old, but it is well known. A person who has failed many times, like over 1000 times, while making the light bulb. People asked him, why don't you give up? He said, I didn't fail. I found 1,000 ways that won't work. He didn't see that as a failure. He see that as a learning, that as a teaching. That was his mindset. You should always have that mindset. And here is how to study that you don't feel tired. Study for 50 minutes, take 10 minutes break. Your brain needs rest. No rest is equal to burnout. So protect your brain. Otherwise, it will tell you to escape from this and that. Best way to escape reality is phone. So keep it away, out of reach. And when you feel tired, just say one more page, one more question. That builds mental strength. Your brain loves progress. Seeing progress, it gives motivation. You have now survived the whole day. But now comes the hardest part, that's night. At night, your thoughts become louder. And there are many questions arise in your mind. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? And slowly you feel like quitting again. So here is another story. Do you have seen the Jungle Book? Before success, the author of the Jungle Book, J.K. Rowling, she was rejected by many publishers. She was struggling. People say, what bullshit have you written? But she didn't quit. Today, her story inspires millions. And the fastest way to clear your mind is to write everything. Write everything that is filled in your mind. Every question, what if I quit, and all that. Say that I didn't quit today, and that's enough. Do positive self talk to yourself. Never say negative. And plan your next day at night because clarity reduces stress. And here's the biggest example of never giving up. Bear Grylls, you have seen on Discovery Channel every day. When he jumped from a helicopter, his parachute didn't open and he suffered multiple fractures. And doctor said you can't run and you can't do anything, but he didn't quit. And later, you know the whole
Your
story.
mindset should be strong
His
enough.
journey.
If you take anything
Never
seriously,
give up
you
doesn't
will
mean
never
no
fail.
breaks, no
You have to
failure, no
you
struggle.
have to
It
stay
means you come
consistent
back,
and
you
work
come
hard
back
toward
again
that
and
goal.
again, again. And here is the not special. They just don't stop. They kept trying, failing, trying. I know you're tired. I know you feel behind. I know sometimes you feel like you're not enough, but listen, you're still trying, and that matters more than you think because some people haven't started yet. If everything feels confusing, just follow this. Morning, no phone. Take small goals. Start small and build strong identity. Say affirmations every day. At afternoon, use 50-10 rule. 50 minutes of deep work, 10 minutes of break. Remove distractions. One more rule. At night, write your all negative thoughts. Forgive yourself. No guilty feeling before sleeping. Plan your next day. This is simple yet most powerful and effective way. You don't need motivation. You need discipline. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be keep going because in the end, the one who doesn't quit wins. If this video helped you even a little, like, subscribe, and share this with someone who feels like quitting. Maybe this is the moment that changes their life.